So you're ready to launch your Shopify store. You've got the idea, you've got the products, you're fired up. And then you land on the theme store. Suddenly, it feels like hitting a wall, right? There are so many options, and when you're just starting out, you want a pro look without the pro price tag. Which brings us to the big question, is a free theme actually good enough to build a real business on?
And this is really the heart of it, isn't it? It's that little voice in your head wondering, am I making a smart move here? Or am I taking a shortcut that's going to cost me down the road? Well, that is exactly what we're going to figure out together.
We're about to cut through all that confusion. By the time we're done here, you're not just going to have an answer, you're going to have a simple, clear way to pick the perfect free theme for your business and feel totally confident about it.
Okay, let's just rip the Band-Aid off and answer that big question right now. Yes, 1,000 times yes, free themes are absolutely good enough. You know, these aren't some cheap knockoff templates. They are built and supported by Shopify itself. They're secure, they're fast, and yes, multi-million-dollar brands are running on these exact same themes. So the question isn't if they're good enough, it's which one is the best fit for you. So how do we figure that out? Well, to give you an answer you can actually trust, you need to know how we got there. The analysis we're diving into uses this really smart two-part approach. It looks at the hard data, but also what real people are saying. Think of it like this. On one side, you've got the lab tests, the raw speed scores. We're popping the hood and measuring the engine's horsepower right out of the box. But on the other side, and this is just as important, you've got the real-world road test. We're digging through hundreds of reviews from actual store owners to hear the human side of the story. You got to have both to get the full picture. And when we look at those reviews, this is the key. A bad rating doesn't always mean a bad theme. It's a signal. A lot of the time, negative feedback is just telling you who the theme wasn't built for. And honestly, that's just as useful when you're trying to find the one that is built for you.
Okay, so to make this whole thing way less overwhelming, we can actually sort all 12 of the free themes into 3 simple groups or tiers. Instead of trying to compare a dozen different options, you just have to figure out which of these 3 paths is yours.
So which one of these sounds like you? First, there's the stability tier. This is for you if you're new to this and just want something beautiful that works, no headaches. Then there's the specialist tier. These are themes built for a very specific job, like a restaurant that needs mobile ordering. And finally, the power tier. This is for folks who are a bit more tech savvy and want maximum speed and control, even if it's a bit harder to learn. See, it's already getting clear.
All right, let's make this real. We're going to pull out a top contender from each of those tiers and put it under the microscope, using that same combo of performance data and real-world reviews. First up, from our stability tier, we have craft. This one is just perfect for anyone with handmade goods, home decor, brands that have a real story to tell. And the key thing people say about it, again and again, is that it's simple and straightforward. That's exactly what this tier is all about. And when you look at the performance, you can see it's built on a really solid foundation. A 75 on mobile and a 90 on desktop means it's clean, it's lightweight, and it won't have your customers tapping their fingers waiting for pages to load. It's just a dependable, smooth ride. Now check this out, a 56% positive rating. You might think that sounds low, but in the world of software reviews, where people are way more likely to complain than praise, having a clear majority of positive reviews, that's a massive green flag. It tells you that for the people it's designed for, craft just works. No drama, no frustration. Okay, next up is our specialist theme, Crave. It's built from the ground up for food and drink businesses. Now, I know what you're thinking. You see that 36% positive rating and you get nervous. But this is the perfect example of a signal, not a verdict. The complaints aren't about the theme being broken. They're from people trying to use it for things it wasn't designed for. And this right here is its superpower. An 85 on mobile speed is phenomenal. If you run a cafe and your customers are ordering from their phones while walking down the street, that speed isn't just a nice feature. It's a business-critical asset. It literally means more sales.
So that rating all comes down to context. The people who are unhappy aren't saying the theme is bad. They're saying, hey, I tried to use a wrench as a hammer and it didn't work. For the right business, Crave is an absolute game changer.
And finally, from the power tier, let's talk about Dawn. This is Shopify's flagship theme. It is a beast, a total blank canvas built for pure speed and customization. It's incredibly popular for a reason, but that low rating is a huge signal that it comes with a pretty steep learning curve. I mean, just look at these numbers. A 99 on desktop is about as close to perfect as you can get. This thing absolutely flies. And that translates into a better experience for your customers and can even give you a nice little boost in search engine rankings. It is a high-performance machine. And this chart tells the entire story. Experienced developers and merchants who know what they're doing, they love Dawn's flexibility. But beginners often find it really challenging. The negative reviews aren't about bugs, they're about the struggle. This split is the classic sign of a power tier tool. Okay, we've looked at the options, we get the 3 tiers. So for our last section, let's just put it all together. Here is a dead simple 4-step checklist to help you pick your perfect match and move forward.
It's this simple. 1. Be honest with yourself. Are you stability, specialist, or power? 2. Look at what the theme says it's best for and see if it lines up with your business. 3. Make a short list of your absolute must-have features and just double-check that they're included. And 4, and please do not skip this step. Spend 10 minutes playing with the demo store on your computer and on your phone. Get a real feel for it.
So let's bring this all home. We started with that one big question. Is a free theme a risky shortcut or a smart start? And after digging into the data and the real-world experiences, the verdict is pretty darn clear. Here's the bottom line. There is no single best theme out there. The goal is to stop looking for the best and start looking for the best fit for you, your business, and your skills. A free Shopify theme isn't a compromise. It's a strategic, powerful, and totally risk-free foundation to build a serious business on. You now have a clear framework to make a smart choice with confidence. The hard part, the analysis, is done. The path is clear. So really, the only question left to ask is, now that you've got your foundation, what incredible business are you going to build on top of it?